युहुन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाभिवृताः सत्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। 22. We'll start from 18. कामो बुद्धावुदेति प्रथममिह मनस्युद्दिशत्यर्थजातम् तद्गृह्णातीन्द्रियास्यैः तदनधिगमतः क्रोधाविर्भवेच्च प्राप्तावर्थस्य संरक्षणमदिरुदितो लोभयेतत्रयं स्यात् सर्वेषां पातहेतुः तदिह मतिमता त्याज्यमध्यात्मयोगात् दानं ब्रह्मार्पणं यत्क्रियत इह नृभिः स्यात्क्षमा क्रोधसंज्ञा श्रद्धास्तिक्यं च सत्यं सदिति परमतः सेतुसंज्ञं चतुष्कम् तत्स्याद्बन्धाय जन्तोः इति चतुरयमान् दानपूर्वैश्चतुर्भिः तीर्त्वा श्रेयोऽमृतं च श्रयत इह नरः स्वर्गतिं ज्योतिराप्तिम् अन्नं देवातिथिभ्योऽर्पितममृतमिदं चान्यथा मोघमन्नम् यश्चात्मार्थं विधत्ते तदिह कृतं मृत्युरूपं हि तस्य लोकेऽसौ केवलाघो भवति तनुभृतां केवलादीशयः स्यात् त्यक्त्वा प्राणाग्निहोत्रम् विधिवदनुदिनं योष्णुते सोऽपि मर्त्यः लोके भोजः स एवार्पयति गृहगतायार्थिनेन्नं कृशाय यस्तस्मै पूर्णमन्नं भवति मखविधौ जायते जातशत्रुः सख्येनान्नार्थिनेयोर्पयति न स सखा सेवमानाय नित्यं संसक्तायान्नमस्मात् विमुख इव परावृत्तिमिच्छेत् कदर्यात् स्वाज्ञानज्ञानहेतु जगदुदयलयौ सर्वसाधारणौ स्तः जीवेष्वास्वर्णगर्भम् श्रुतय इति जगुः हूयते स्वप्रबोधे विश्वं ब्रह्मण्यबोधे जगति पुनरिदं हूयते ब्रह्म यद्वत् शुक्तौ रौप्यं च रौप्येऽधिकरणमथवा हूयते न्योन्यमोहात् तुच्छत्वान्नासदासीत्
तुच्छत्वान्नासदासीत् तुच्छत्वान्नासदासीत्
गगनकुसुमवत्
गगनकुसुमवत् गगनकुसुमवत्
भेदकं नो सदासीत्
भेदकं नो सदासीत् भेदकं नो सदासीत्
किन्त्वाहभ्यामन्यदासीत्
किं त्वाभ्यामन्यदासीत् किं त्वाभ्यामन्यदासीत्
व्यवहृति गतिसत्
व्यवहृति गतिसत्
व्यवहृति गतिसत् सन् नासलोकस्तदानीम् 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 किन्त्वर्वागेव शुक्तौ
किं त्वर्वागेव
गेव शुक्तौ किन्त्वर्वागेव शुक्तौ रजतपदपरः
रजतवदपरः
रजतपदपरः नो विराट् व्योमपूर्वः
नो विराट् व्योमपूर्वः
नो विराट्
व्योमपूर्वः
शर्मण्यात्मन्यथैतत्
शर्मण्यात्मन्यथैतत् शर्मण्यात्मन्यथैतत्
कुहकसलिलवत्
कुहकसलिलवत् कुहकसलिलवत्
किं भवेदावरीवः
किं भवेदावरीवः किं भवेदावरीवः.
So this is a very interesting verse which connects with the previous verse through the word ajnana. So in the previous verse, so we were talking about, so the manifestation of the universe is essentially due to this jiva jnana. Some people call it as jiva srishti. Okay. So this ajnana, which is the cause for presenting this universe in various forms. So what is its nature? So that is what is being discussed in this verse. So that is the connection between the previous verse and this verse. So in fact, if you look at this Adhyasa Bhashya, Tamevam Lakshanam Adhyasam Pandita Avidyeti Manyante. So this is how it starts. So having defined what is Adhyasa, so Acharya goes and then he says, Tamevam Lakshanam Adhyasam Panditaha Avidyeti Manyante. So we have to understand this statement as a background statement before we get into. So why did Acharya make this statement in the Sutra Bhashya? Tamevam Lakshanam Adhyasam. So in fact it is a very beautiful argument that he presents. What is Adhyasa? Smriti Rupa Paratra Purva Drishta Vapasaha and so on. So I am not going to get into all those details now. But to just give you a certain link. So Adhyasa is something which you are experiencing. So this Shuktau Raupyam Raupye Shuktihi and so on, which was quoted even in the previous verse, is something which is relatable to your own experience. So mistaken notion is always there. So evam lakshanam adhyasam panditaha avidyeti manyante. So what is he trying to do here? So there is a concept which is being brought into based on what you have already experienced through your own day-to-day experiences. So Adhyasa is something which was defined in a very general context. So superimposing one thing on another thing. And this superimposing one thing on other thing is primarily because of your lack of understanding of the original thing on which you are trying to superimpose something. Right? So if you were to know the base, so which presented itself as some other thing for you, okay? So then there is no question now Adhyasa coming. But this is some common experience. Now you have to take it to this Vedanta. So there the cause for all this sorrow, they say it is Ajnana. Okay? So Atma Jnana. Atmanaha Ajnanam. Atmanaha Swarupasya Ajnanam. So this is what they say. So it is this adhyasa that people talk. People talk means Panditaha. So Panditaha means those who have tried to lay down the framework of Shastra for you to understand. Okay? So Tametam Evam Lakshanam Adhyasam Panditaha. That framework is laid down based on their own experiences. So it is for Shishya Hitaya. In fact, so there is a Vivek Chudamani specialist here. Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti Santaha Vasantaval Lokahitam Charantaha Tirna Swayam Bhima Bhavarnavam Janane Ahetunanyana Pitarayantaha. So this Ahetunanyana Pitarayantaha, it is through this Viveka Chudamani, Shatashloki and so on, all these Shastras. So Tirna Swayam. So having crossed this, so they try to help people through this Shastra. Now in the theoretical framework that you are trying to explain, so this concept of Ajnana has to be introduced. So that is where Shankara comes in and then says, Tame tamevam lakshanam adhyasam panditaha avidyeti manyante. They call it avidya. Now, so there are so many verses which we will talk about in greater detail later. But this I wanted to give you an introduction to tell you how this concept of Ajnana is being brought into picture. So it is the Ajnana which is the cause of suffering, which was stated. This Jnana, if it were to help, then unless you take it as Ajnana, it is not going to be removed. Right? So, and that too it has to be Adhyasa. Okay. So with this background, now let us come to this verse. Now that you have introduced Ajnana, so how long has it been there? Will the question. What is its nature? How long has it been there? Is it something which is independent of the primordial entity that you are trying to talk about? Or is it something which is one with that? And so on and so forth. These are the questions which may bother us. So it is in that context this verse is being introduced. And this verse is introduced keeping a very interesting verse. Okay, a mantra in Rigveda. So Rigveda, so some of you would have definitely heard what is called Nasadiya Suktam, which is extremely popular. So this Nasadiya Sukta, the first mantra goes like Nasadasin no sadasit tadanim Nasidrajo novyo ma paroyat Kimavari vahkuhakasya sharmannam bhakkimasit gahanangabhiram. In fact, it occurs in Yajurveda also. Nasada, Rigveda rendition will be like this. Nasadasin no sadasit tadanin nasidrajo novyo ma paroyat Kimavari vahkuhakasya sharmannam bhakkimasit gahanangabhiram. Anyway, so this is how it will go. So let me try to connect this to this. So if you look at this verse, it starts with Tuchhatvan Nasadasit. So Rigveda mantra starts with Nasadasit. Here what has been introduced is Tuchhatvat is the term that has been introduced. So Tuchhatvat Nasadasit. So this Tuchhatvat, the term Tuchha has to be understood. Normally, even in our common parlance, we use the word Tuchha. It is something which is completely unworthy of our attention. Okay? So, which is totally unworthy of attention is what is called Tuchha. Okay? So now the word Tuchham, in fact, in Prashnottara Ratnamalika, there is an interesting question. Kim Tuchham? The answer is Shashavishanadi. This is how Shankaracharya defines Tuchham there in Prashnottara Ratnamalika. Kim Tuchham. It is a technical term that you have to understand. Kim Tuchham Shashavishanadi. So is what he is saying. So here in this verse, he gives the word Gagana Kusumavat. So Gaganam means space, Kusuma is flower. Gagana Kusumavat means like the flower in space. Okay. So there Shashavishanadi, the horn of a hare. Okay. So we know horn, we know hare, H-A-R-E. Okay. We do not know horn of a hare. Okay. H-A-R-E. So Shashavishana is not known. Similarly, we know Gaganam, we know Kusumam. So there is nothing like Gagana Kusumam. Gagane Kusumam. This is not possible. Similarly, so the other example, standard example is Vandhya Putra. Okay. Vandhya means a barren lady. Putra means son. So we know independently. So can you connect this Vandhya with Putra? So then she is no more Vandhya. Right? So such terms are referred to as Tuchha, which means completely non-existent. Okay. So to explain, now this is far more technically defined in the polemical literature. If you go to, because they have to refine this definition. So they define it as Kvachidapyupadhau satvena pratityanarhatvam. Okay. I'll repeat. Kvachidapyupadhau satvena pratityanarhatvam. Okay. This is asatvam. Okay. So what is asat? Because we are going to introduce the terms sat and asat, and it is used here in this verse as it is found in the Rig Veda. Okay, so that asat term, and in order to clarify and make it more precise, they introduce this term Tuchha. Okay, because asat can mean simply opposite of sat. You can understand it in very many ways because Nanya has various different meanings. So to make it more specific, they introduce this term Tuchha. Okay, but this asat that we are trying to talk here should be understood in the sense of Tuchha, and therefore the verse starts with Tuchhatvan asadasit gagana kusumavat. So since I introduced this technical definition, let me quickly explain that for a moment and then we move on. Kvachidapyupadhau satvena pratityanarhatvam. Okay. So even if you take this example that we cited in the previous verse, so seeing rupya in a shell, so you are obviously seeing a non-existing entity. Okay, so that is also asat. Okay, it is not there. Not there. In that sense, it is asat only. But that asat, okay, so we what do we say? So asat padartham tum pashyasi means, so what is non-existent is what you are seeing. So as we have in Bhagavad Gita, Ashocyan Anvashochastu. Okay. So what is not there? So there it is slightly different, but anyway, so this is asat padartha. Non-existent. But non-existence in that particular locus. But it is existent elsewhere. You understand? So this putra is existent elsewhere. So, but you cannot associate here. Okay. But here, what we are talking about, this term, Shashavishana, you cannot find any locus in which you can find its existence. Shukti, Rupya and so on. So, in mistaken notions, so you find that person separately, this person separately. Okay. And what you did was superimposing that on this. But here, these two things can never be put together. Okay, so that is what Upadhi means, an agent. क्वचिदप्युपाधौ satvena pratityanarhatvam. Okay, so you cannot see. Okay, you cannot see this entity in any locus at any point of time. Okay, that is what is asat. Now, what he is trying to say is, through this example, this is what you need to understand by asat here. Tuchhatvan sadasit gagana kusumavat. Okay, so this ajnana that we are trying to talk about should not be understood as this kind of an asat. So it is different from this asat. Okay, so na asadasit means asat na asit. Okay, then what is the next statement? Bhedakam no sadasit. So if it is not asat, so then you should call it as sat. No, I cannot call it sat also. Okay, sat api nasit. But then Acharya here uses a phrase bhedakam. Okay, bhedakam sat na asit. Okay, so bhedakam na asit means, bhedakam means that which brings in difference. Okay, so if you want to distinguish two entities, those two entities should be of the same category. Okay, so this means you cannot say, so this fellow is different from a non-existing entity. Okay, so because that doesn't, the Bheda does not even arise. Only when you see two things, so Bheda arises. Now here we are talking of a certain state, a state in which the creation has not even started, and ekameva dvitiyam state. Okay, sadeva somyadam agre asid ekameva dvitiyam. Okay, so this is the period which we are trying to talk about here. Okay, so before this universe came into existence in any tangible form. Okay, so it is continuously changing is one aspect, but in any tangible form. So we will see that. So how is he trying to bring this? Bhedakam no sadasit. Bhedakam means, so this also has some sat, that also has some sat. So I can, so he is different from apple, you can say. Okay, there is no problem, but at least there should be some sattvam in both for you to compare. Okay. Bhedakam no sadasit. So he is different from tube light, if you say. Okay. So then there is some other meaning. But anyway, when you compare that Bhedakam, so the other entity should be existing. So here what he is trying to say is, this ajnana which you are trying to present in your theoretical framework, so it was neither sat. Okay, and how do you define this sat? So the sat is defined as, okay, let me give you the technical definition of that sat also. Okay, we defined asat as kvachidapyupadhau satvena pratityanarhatvam. Okay, so sat is defined as trikala abadhyam. Okay, trikala abadhyatvam sattvam. Okay, so trikala abadhyatvam means you can always conceive of time in three parts. There is a present time, past and future. So the existence of which cannot be negated in all the three times. Okay, so this is how sat is defined. Now this ajnana that you are talking about, so cannot be given the status of this sat also, because so this ajnana nivritti is something which is known to you in certain levels, and it is something which we understand from our own experiences, and therefore we extend it. So complete ajnana nivritti about the nature, relieves you and takes you to moksha. And therefore this ajnana nivritti is to be considered in your theoretical framework, and therefore you cannot give the ajnana that status of sat. Okay, that sat nasit. This is how you have to understand. Bhedakam means, so the sat of that, okay, that original entity which is Trikalabadhya, so that sat cannot be assigned to this ajnana. So this is how we need to understand. So bhedakam no sadasit kintvabhyamanyadasit. But you don't say that there was absolutely nothing. Abhyam anyadasit means this way, the way we defined the sat and asat, so this is different from both. Okay, so this is what is also referred to by the term anirvachyam. So anirvachyam should be carefully understood. So anirvachyam does not mean you cannot speak anything about it. So anirvachyam only means, it is also a technical term. Okay, anirvachyam only means it can neither be described as sat nor can be described as asat. Sadasad vilakshanam. Okay, so this is what we call. In fact, we have this verse also in Sannapya Sannapya Bhayatmikano Bhinnapya Bhinnapya Bhayatmikano Sangapya Nangapya Bhayatmikano Mahadbhuta Nirvachaniya Rupa. I think that is what the Vivek Chudamani describes. Anyway, so now let us see how this essence of this Nasadiya Sukta first mantra has been captured in this. So that is what I wanted to explain here. So bhedakam no sadasit kintvabhyam anyadasit. So then the verse goes and then says vyavahriti gati sannasa lokastadanim. Vyavahritihi, vyavaharaha, they mean one and the same. Okay, so vi avr. Okay, so this is how. So there is a vyava. So vi, a and vr. So these are the three things that we will have. So from that comes vyavahara, the word. Okay, so vyavahriti gati sat. So gati means motion. Okay, vyavahriti means, vyavahara is basically a transaction. Okay, any kind of transaction can be called as a vyavahara. Okay, it can be verbal transaction, it can be money transaction, it can be a transaction of entities. So whatever it is, so this hr, so vi, ava, hr, okay, hr means harati, means takes from one place to other place. So if you have a certain thought, so you try to communicate to the other person. Okay, so this is a transaction that you are trying to do, transaction of some idea. So that is also called vyavahara. Okay, in fact in mathematics, so many of these calculations, or all of them are called vyavaharas. Okay, anyway, so this is vyavahara, vyavahriti. So this vyavahriti gati san is used as an adjective to lokaha. See, vyavahriti gati sannasa lokastadanim. So the word tadanim that you find here is basically drawn from that Nasadiya Sutta. Nasadasim, nosadasi, tadanim. So tadanim refers to some Mahapralaya Kala. Okay, so when this universe has not even come to existence. So tadanim. So vyavahriti gati sat. So this is some interesting usage. Unless you find something to describe, obviously there cannot be any vyavahara. Vyavahara is usage of language. Okay, so obviously there has to be some entity for you to talk about. So there could not have been any vyavahara of any sort in that state. Okay, so vyavahritihi, Vyavahriti Gati Sat. So this Gati also is very interesting thing. So Gati can mean various things. Gati can mean jnana and so on. But here you can simply take Gati as motion. Even in our understanding as we think of today, we think of things moving out. Okay? So something emerging out of something, and a motion to all these objects. So Earth is moving, all planets are moving, solar system is moving, galaxy is moving. So anyway, so unless you have various parts which is after Srishti, there cannot be any Gati. Okay? So unless you have various galaxies, you cannot name various galaxies. Okay? So this is what we are talking about. Tadanim means Srishtef Prag Avasthayam. Okay? Vyavahriti Gati Sat. Vyavahriti Gati San. So Vyavahritischa Gatischa. Okay? So this is only when there is some sun. You understand? So that is how it is. So Vyavahriti Gati San Lokaha. See? So Vyavahritya Gatya cha Saditi Vyavahriyate. Okay, so when you see something new, okay, so then you will give some name to it. Okay, so the Satvena Vyavahara is absolutely impossible. Tadanim. So this is what he is explaining. Nasadasi no sadasi tadanim nasidrajo no vyoma paroyat. In fact, that is exactly coming in the third quarter of this verse. So, kintvarvageva shuktau rajatavadaparo no virat vyomapurvaha. This vyomapurvaha is an adjective to virat. So, vyomapurvaha virat no. No means he was also not there. Okay, so what is this Virat? Anyway, we'll see a little later. So here he says, Kintu arvageva shuktau rajatavat. He gives an example first. Arvak means later. Okay, so arvak means later. So prak arvak, you can say. Arvageva shuktau rajatavat. Now, what we have to understand is, in the theoretical framework that we have constructed, various things have been brought into. So this ajnana is also brought into, all these other things have been brought into. So here, rajatavat shuktau. So unless you have a certain adhisthana, you cannot superimpose something. Okay? So the superimposition can take place only when there is a base for superimposing. Okay? So here what he is trying to say is, so when this initial state is being described, so there is nothing to even superimpose. Okay? So here he is saying, no virat vyoma purvaha aparaha vyoma purvaha viradapi na. Okay, so that is what that mantra also says. Okay, nasid rajaha. So this rajaha is something which has to be understood. I don't know whether it is stated in this verse. It is not stated, right? That rajaha is not stated. There in that mantra, Rajaha basically means Lokaha. Okay? Rajaha. In fact, there is a statement which has been cited by the commentators in the Rigveda Bhashya, okay, of the Sukta. Okay. So they say this Rajaha, basically, Rajamsi refers to Lokaha. Okay? So, Loka Rajam Syuchyante. So, there is a statement in Nirukta. Okay? So, Rajamsi Uchyante. Nasid Rajaha. Lokaha Rajamsi Uchyante. See, some of you who would have studied science, okay, so to some extent deeper. So, even when we think of See the kind of description that is coming today. Okay, so you don't misquote me saying that I am saying the same thing as what modern science talks about, but it is primarily to understand the sort of parallel thinking. So they say that there was some dust initially, okay, and the dust so they gained some momentum and they had some spin, and at one point of time everything starts getting attracted, and as they get attracted, so they form a solid. So this is the modern description of the formation of universe. So why I am saying is, this statement reminded me of that. Okay, so Rajamsi Lokaha Rajams Uchyante. This is an interesting statement which we find in Nirukta. Okay, so this Lokaha, all this Lokaha Rajamsi Uchyante means some energy turns into some particle form, and the particles start integrating, and you get different forms of matter. Okay, anyway, so Nasidrajaha no Vyoma. Vyoma means this Antariksha Loka, and Paraha basically means the Duloka, beyond that. So you can think of an interstice between the Duloka, means some other kind of a boundary you can think of. So beyond which you find certain other things. Duloka means that those objects which are glittering light to you, you can think of that. Okay, something I am just saying. So this is, so this Duloka, so Paraha, so is referred to as Duloka. Nasidrajo no Vyoma Paroyat. Then comes the word Avarivaha, which also appears in the fourth quarter of this. Kimavarivaha Kuhakasya Sharman Ambha Kimasit Gahanam Gabhiram. That is how the mantra goes. So Kim Avarivaha. So Avarivaha means some cover, which sort of veils. You can consider as a veil, that which covers something. So Kimavarivaha, in fact there are three questions in the third quarter of the mantra. Kimavarivaha Kuha Kasya. See, all of them are related to Kim. Let me tell you, Kim is very clear. Kim Avarivaha. So Avarivaha is a cover. So when you say cover, so there has to be something to be covered, no? So unless there is an Avaraniya, so there has to be something to be covered, then you can think of covering with something. So in that state, there cannot be anything. Okay. So Avaraniyasya abhavad avarakasya abhavaha. You can just Kim Avarivaha. What is the cover that you are talking about? You can just say Kuha. So Kuha is a very interesting word. Kuha here is again formed from Kim. Okay. So Kim Ha will become Kuha. Okay. So here what does it mean? It essentially means where. Kutra. Okay. So in fact there is a sutra in Vyakarana, Kutihoho. Okay. So Kutihoho means in the place of Kim, Ku will come when the suffix added as Ta or Ha. So when you add Ha, that Kim will become Ku, therefore Kuha. Similarly Kutra. Understand? So that is how it is. So Kuha. Kuha here refers to, so since there cannot be any kind of hiding, okay, avaranam, okay, so where can it happen is another question. Okay, what, when, where, what, where, okay, and then the third is Kasya Sharman. So Sharman, Sharma, as I told you, refers to Sukha. Sharma Shata Sukha Nicha. I think that is how the Amara goes. Okay. So Sharman, Kasya Sharman. means, so whose Ananda is being hidden? Okay? Ajnanena avritam, when you say. So the Ananda Avirbhava is what we are talking about. So this Ananda, if it is hidden, whose Ananda is hidden? Okay? So this is another question. So what does this all mean put together? So this means, so there was neither Bhogya Prapancha nor the Bhoktru Prapancha. Understand? So Bhogya Prapancha is so something which you can enjoy. You may consider the other human being, okay, also to be enjoyed by you. Okay, his services to be enjoyed, he is to be enjoyed, she is to be enjoyed, whatever. So that is called Bhogya Prapancha. Okay, so as far as I am concerned, so I am Bhokta, so everything else becomes Bhojya for me. Okay, so this basically this mantra says there was neither Bhoktru Prapancha nor Bhogya Prapancha. Okay, Kimavari Vahkuhakasya Sharman. Then in the fourth quarter, so there is a question which is kept in mind. So in fact, there are other places in this Veda where you find a certain mantra. Okay, so this mantra goes like this: Apova idamagre salila asit. Okay, Apova idamagre asit. There is a statement. So idam means, so this prapancha that you see here, so this was in the form of water. There is a description. So now when you say there was nothing, so how do you reconcile these two? So then they say that this statement in Veda is to be understood as Avantara Pralaya Vishaya. So Avantara Pralaya means, so even today we understand that there is a larger cycle. So we are talking about few tens of years, hundreds of years or thousands of years. But if you go to millions of years, okay, so even if you go to tens of thousands or lakhs of years, so we can think of this, at least the earth completely shielded by water. Okay, so when all the glaciers melt, what will happen? That is all, everything will get submerged. So you can't jump to Mars. So anyway, so these are certain things which keep happening, and those periods we refer to as Avantara Pralaya. So this generally is called Mahapralaya. So when the elements are also not there, it is called Mahapralaya. So this Apova idamagre salila asit, that description should be understood in the light of Avantara Pralaya. So now, the fourth quarter of the Rigveda mantra, Ambha kimasit gahanam gabhiram. Gabhiram gahanam ambha kimasit. So even that was not there. So that is what is negated. Okay. Ambha kimasit. So kidrisham ambha gahanam gabhiram. This gahanam gabhiram. So generally these two terms are understood synonymously. Something which is very deep. That is what we understand. But since they have been used together, so they draw a distinction. So one is that which is not even approachable. Okay. So this non-approachability can be either due to heavy flow or due to very great depths. Okay. So you can understand this gahanam as something which is very, very heavy. Okay, the flow is too heavy and therefore you cannot. Okay. The other thing you can understand, okay, it's too deep. Okay. So ambhaha kimasit gahanam gabhiram. There are only two things which we see in water primarily. Right? If it is a shallow water and it is still, you just walk across. Okay. If it is flowing, so heavily flowing, even if the depth is not heavy, you cannot go. Okay. So these are two things perhaps referred by the Gahanam and Gabhiram. Okay. Ambha kimasit Gahanam Gabhiram. Now let us come to the fourth quarter of this verse. Sharmanyatmanyathaitat kuhaka salilavat kim bhaved avarivaha. You find the same term avarivaha appearing. And we have another example here, kuhaka salilavat. Okay. So salilam means water. Okay. Salilam. We have this nice slogan, no? Salilam Salilam. Okay. This Hanuman. Salilam Salilam. Anyway, we'll come to that. So this Salilam is, see, Kuhaka Salilam. Okay. So Kuhaka means someone who is a cheat. It's not necessarily in a very bad taste. Someone who can create a certain situation which is very deceptive. Okay, these magicians are also called Kuhakas. Okay. So how does this word come about? See, so this does not come from Kim, but it has to do with Kuha. Okay. So Kuha, see, Kuhayati means Vismapayati. So Vismapayati means makes you wonder. Okay. So he just makes you get awestruck. So that is, so then they call him a Kuhaka. Now the word that has been employed here is Kuhaka Salilam. Means the magicians also perhaps have a certain trick to make you see water where it is not there. I think this has been there for quite some time. So Kuhaka Salilavat. So what is compared? See, Avarivaha Kuhaka Salilavat. So what happens in Kuhaka Salila? Basically a piece of land is covered by water. It's covered by water which is non-existent. Okay. Kuhaka Salilavat means some non-existing entity. So that is what is basically, since the Salila covers, this Avarivaha is compared to that. Okay. So this Ajnanam that one is talking about. Kuhaka Salilavat kim bhaved avarivaha. Where? Sharmani Atmani. So that is where it comes. Okay. So what is existing? Atmava idameka eva agre asid nanyat kinchana mishat. So this is what Shruti says. Okay, we'll be repeating this in other verses also a little later. But what it essentially says, Sadeva Somedam agre asid or Atmaivekam agre asid, whatever it is, there was only one entity. And what is its form? Its form is Sharma. Sharma means Sukham. So earlier we had the usage Sukhamayam. Okay, this Sukhamayam Arama. Why does this not fellow go, right? So Sukhamaya. So that is what is referred to by the word Sharmani. So there also in that mantra also you had Sharma. Kasya Sharma. It was saying. So here Sharmani Atmani. So Sharmani Atmani. So Atma which is in the form of unbounded happiness. Okay. Kuhaka Salilavat kim bhaved avarivaha. Can this avariva be there? Okay. So which means it cannot exist. Okay. So this is some anirvachaniya padartha which has been constructed by us. So in this context, I wanted to tell you one more verse. In fact, some of you, there are experts here who would have got reminded of this word Kuhaka. We have this word Kuhaka appearing in the first verse of Bhagavatam also. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratah chartheshvabhinyasvarat tenehe brahmahridaya adikavaye mukhyanti yatsurayah tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna hasvena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. This itself is a very beautiful verse which requires a lot of explanation, which I will not do, but I just wanted to tease you with this so that you can go and look at Bhagavatam. So that is a very beautiful verse. Anyway, it doesn't become evident on reading it once or twice. It is a very beautiful verse. Okay, the verse which I wanted to share with you was, which is closely related to what you find in this verse, is from Narayaniyam. It is also connected with something which we read in the previous verse, Hiranyagarbha. So here he says, no Virat Vyoma Purvaha. If you look at the third quarter, Vyoma Purvaha Viradapi Na, he says. So in Narayaniyam, you find a very interesting verse. So I will read that. So perhaps you can repeat. Then I will quickly explain that. Andam. So this is in 5th Dashaka, the last verse. Andam tat khalu purva srishta salile.
Andam
tat khalu purva srishta salile. Andam tat khalu purva srishta salile. Atishtat sahasram samaha.
Atishtat sahasram samaha.
Atishtat sahasram samaha. Nirbhindanna krithaha. Nirbhindanna krithaha. Nirbhindanna krithaha. Chaturdasha jagad rupam viradahvayam.
Chaturdasha jagat
Rupam viradahvayam. Chaturdasha jagat rupam viradahvayam. Sahasraih karapadamur. Sahasraih karapadamur dhanivahaihi. Sahasraih karapadamur dhanivahaihi. Sahasraih karapadamurdhanivahaihi. Nishesha jivatmakaha. Nishesha jivatmakaha. Nishesha jivatmakaha. Nirbhatosi marutpuradhipa. Nirbhatosi marutpuradhipa.
Nirbhatosi marutpuradhipa.
Samam trayasva sarvamayat.
Samam trayasva sarvamayat.
Samam trayasva sarvamayat. In fact, this whole Adhikaranam, Dashakam, is called as, Virat Purushotpatti Varnana. Okay? So these are some very interesting descriptions. So he sequentially explains what came after what and so on and so forth. In the previous verse, 9th verse, it ended with Hairanyamandam Yadhaha. Hairanyamandam is the word that he uses. Okay? So Hiranyagarbha, Hairanyamandam. So this is the term that has been employed. So Andam is, something in the form of a ball. Okay. So anyway, we can consider it that way for the moment. So Andam tat khalu. Okay. That Hiranyagarbha, Hiranyanda, tat khalu purva srishta salile atishchat sahasram samaha. And he says for a certain period, so it was in this particular form. Okay. Sahasram samaha refers to a long period. Okay, sama means samvatsara. So in which mana we don't know. Various manas that one can talk about. Sahasram samaha. Then he says nirbhindanna krithaha. So nirbhindan means it sort of bursted itself out. Okay. Nirbhindanna krithaha. What did you create? Chaturdasha jagadrupam viradahvayam. So since we came across the word Virat earlier, Vairajaveshtirupam. Okay. So that Virat, so here he is describing as Chaturdasha jagadrupam. So in their conception, they talk about the 7 lokas, then Prithvi. So then we have some 6 more lokas above. Okay. So So Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. So these are the 6 lokas which are supposed to be below. And then we have, see, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Okay? So this we have. So then we have Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. So that is how it goes above. So anyway, these 14 lokas. So then I was telling that anything in sort of a tangible form, all of them put together you refer to by the word Virat. So that is what he is trying to explain. Okay. So Chaturdasha Jagadrupam Viradahvayam. Viradahvayam means named as Virat. Okay. Chaturdasha Jagadrupam Viradahvayam Sahasri Karapada Murthanivahaihi. Then he says, so Sahasrihi, so Sahasra should not be just considered as some thousand, okay? Thousands of, okay, or millions of. Karapada Murthanivahaihi, Samuhaihi. Then later, so various things keep emerging, okay? Nishesha Jivatmakaha. So, oh my Lord, okay? So you are the primary being, so who has got manifested in all these forms. Okay, Nishesha Jivatmaka means there is no Shesha. Okay? All forms. See, that is what in this Prahlada he says, Paravareshu Bhuteshu Brahmanta Sthavarādishu Bhautikeshu Vikareshu Bhuteshvatha Mahatsucha Guneshu Gunasamyeshu Gunavyathikarē tatha Ekayeva Parohyatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Vyayaha. So this is how he declares, okay, towards the end of Prahladopadesha. So that is what he is saying. Sahasrai Karapada Murthanivahaihi Nishesha Jivatmakaha Nirbhatosi Marutpuradhipa Samam Trayasva Sarvamayat. Okay, Sattvam Mam Trayasva Sarvamayat. This is how all the Dashakas in Narayaniyam generally get ended. Okay, so there is a prayer. Okay, may you protect me from the afflictions that I am currently undergoing. Okay, because that is how it started with the. Okay, now let us read this verse. Tuchhatvam sadasid gagana kusumavat bhedakam no sadasid kintvabhyam anyadasid vyavahriti gati sannasalokas Kindvarvageva Shuktau Rajatavadaparo No Virat Vyomapurvaha Sharmanyatmanyataitat Kuhakasalilavat Kim Bhavedavarivaha. This is a poetic expression, so you should just understand. If all these things inclusive of Virat were not there, where is the question now? This Avarivaha. Okay, so that is how this verse sort of explains what is there conveyed in the Rig Veda. Okay, so now we will stop here and then we will proceed further. Okay, Om Sarve Pasukhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhavet. Om